Hi, you're a human, and humans want things: food, shelter, comfort, and ideally a television that's slightly larger than your cousin's. Here's the problem. There isn't enough stuff for everyone to have everything they want. Not enough food, not enough houses, and definitely not enough slightly larger televisions. That limitation is called scarcity. Scarcity means resources are limited while human wants are basically unlimited, and that problem sits at the center of economics. If the world had infinite pizza, economics wouldn't exist. But pizza is limited. Everything is limited. So now we have to make choices, and economics is simply the study of how people make decisions when resources are scarce. So what do people do when they can't have everything? They trade. Maybe you have 10 apples. I have 5 bananas. We both want variety, so we exchange. Now we both have apples and bananas. Win-win. Unless you're allergic. In that case, it's still technically win-win, just with an emergency injection. But how do we decide which choices to make? That's where opportunity cost comes in. Every decision you make means giving up something else. Watching this video means you're not watching cat fail compilations right now. That's your opportunity cost. Hopefully, this was the better choice. Now, back to trade. Why does trade exist in the first place? Because of comparative advantage. Comparative advantage means someone is relatively better at one activity compared to another. And here's the funny part. Even if you're worse than everyone else at everything, you can still benefit from trade. Because maybe you're terrible at everything, but someone else is even worse at one specific thing. Congratulations, you are economically useful. Trade isn't about being the best, it's about being the least bad at the right task. So now we have scarcity, opportunity cost, specialization, and trade. Put all those ideas together, shake them around, and suddenly you have something new: a market. A market is simply a place where buyers and sellers exchange goods and services. It could be a farmer's market, it could be a global stock exchange, or it could be your cousin selling you video game skins online. The engine that makes markets work is incentives. People respond to incentives. If a pizza costs $100, most people will pass. If that same pizza costs $1, suddenly everyone wants 3. Lower prices encourage buyers, higher prices encourage sellers, and that constant push and pull creates supply and demand. Demand is how much people want something at a given price. Supply is how much producers are willing to make at that price. Where those two forces meet, that's the equilibrium price, the point where amount people want to buy matches the amount producers want to sell. If supply increases, prices tend to fall. If demand increases, prices tend to rise. Unless someone steps in and says, nope, that price isn't allowed. That's called price control. It's basically an attempt to ignore economics, and it usually doesn't go very well. But we'll come back to that later. Now imagine you don't like your current role in the market. Maybe you make shoes, but what you really want is pancakes. So you get a job, you earn money. Money is simply a medium of exchange. Instead of trying to trade a goat for Wi-Fi, money lets everyone use the same system for transactions. Money also works as a unit of account. That means we can measure and compare value. And it works as a store of value, so we can save purchasing power for later. In other words, money keeps the gears of trade spinning smoothly. And then we invented banks. Banks take deposits from savers and lend that money to borrowers. In return, they charge interest. Interest is simply the cost of borrowing money. And all of this leads to a big idea. Markets coordinate millions of people through prices and incentives. But markets don't care about fairness. They don't care about feelings. And they definitely don't care if you stubbed your toe this morning. They simply react to signals. Economists call this the invisible hand. It isn't magic, it's just millions of individuals pursuing their own interests and accidentally coordinating with each other. And that's the basics of economics, condensed in a few minutes, which surprisingly took a very long time to make. If you enjoyed this, consider leaving a like. It tells the algorithm that this video was worth your time. And if you want to see the next part, hit subscribe. Part 2 is already in the works.